Hello everybody, finally got this thing working, looks like. We are ready for game number 1 of the 1973 NLCS as determined by the 1973 NBC Game of the Week and the Strat-O-Matic computer. And the Giants and the Pirates were the division winners. The ALCS, Oakland leads that over Baltimore 1-0. And of course, this is game 1 of the NLCS. The Giants have the first 2 games at home, and then the last 3 would be in Pittsburgh, at least 1, and then the other 4 and 5 would also be in Pittsburgh if necessary. Since this was not as played, the way the Oakland-Baltimore one was, had to make my own lineups, so I did the best I could with what I had to work with, and we'll see how that all plays out. Also had to pick out what I thought was the best 25-man roster and so forth, so that's what we're going to be doing with that. Let's see if I can move this up a bit to show everything on the... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this down because I want to show the lineups as well, or the benches and the bullpens as well. So let's get that. That's what I wanted right there, I think. I think that will... Yep, that will do it right there. That's what I wanted right there. Okay, so we are good to go. This game is in San Francisco. There are your benches and your bullpens for both teams. Left-hander on the mound for the Giants, so the Pirates are going with mostly right-handed hitters in their lineup. The only exception to that is Oliver and Stargell. Everybody else is right-handed. So you do have Hebner and Milt May on the bench. Parker was a rookie in '73, so he's pretty much going to run the bench anyway. So starting for the Giants, it'll be Ron Bryant, 24-12, 3.53 ERA and 39 starts. Starting for the Pirates will be Nelson Briles, 14-13 with a 2.85 ERA in 33 starts. Pirates kind of had all their pitchers were kind of the same. There wasn't really a 1, 2, or a 3. So just kind of had to do the best I could with figuring out what I wanted to do with that. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. And actually, because of all of that, normal starter Steve Blass is actually going to be in the bullpen for the Pirates. So they're going to have Doc Ellis, Bob Moose, Nelson Briles, and let's see. Might just go with, I think we're just going to go with the 3-man rotate, or Jim Rooker would be the other one. So those would be the other 3 starters that aren't listed in the benches and bullpen or the starting lineups. That's Doc Ellis, Bob Moose, and Jim Rooker. Bob Moose will start game 2 for the Pirates. For the Giants, their other starting pitchers, they will have Jim Barr start in game number 2. And then Tom Bradley game 3, Juan Marichal game 4. That's the way that will play out. Hello, Brian B. How you doing? You will see a lot of... One thing you will not see on this channel, Brian B., that you see on the other channel is leaving dice in there and letting it affect the other dice on the other rolls. You will not see that. This channel will always clear the dice for the dice roll. We will not leave trash in the dice tray the way that other channel does. So that will not be the case. We will have a clean slate every time. So no tainted rolls there. All right, so look at the starting lineups. You got Kleins, Cash, Oliver, Stargell, Zisk, Zangian, Stennett, Maxfield, and Nelson Briles. For the Giants, it's Bonds, Fuentes, Maddox, McCovey, Matthews, Spire, Kingman at third, who's a 5.53, but they want his offense. Rader catching, and Bryant the pitcher. Hello, Ben. How are you doing? Good to see you. Probably tomorrow. I'm thinking it's going to be tomorrow night would be game number, the next game in the 1987 Strat-O-Matic replay. I played all the other games. I just need to play the one live, which is the A's and the Angels from Oakland. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. Fluff around and find out. I like that. There you go. All right, so we are ready to go. Ron Bryant finishing up the warm-up toss as he is a left-hander. And leading things off for the Pirates will be Gene Kleins. He is going to be in center field for this game. Not very good, though. It's a 4+3 and an E12. but he hits left-handers very well. All right, here we go. Pirates and the Giants. Game 1, 1973 NLCS is now underway. And, of course, we got giant-colored dice, which is convenient because it's also Oriole-colored dice. 4-7 for Bryant against the Kleins, the right-hander. 4-7 is a strikeout. So Gene Klein's out on strikes. One away. And that will now send up. This does that. Let's see if I can fix this here really quickly. Hopefully it's better now. Okay. Looks like everything is still good to go. Bryant to Cash. 6-7 against a right-hander. 6-7 is a walk. So 1-out walk to Cash. And he'll be looking to run. The pitcher-catcher quotient is a -1 combined. So that means it's a -3. So if he gets a jump, it would be a 1-10. But they figure why not be aggressive. But then again, Cash gets caught. Let's look at close up at his card. To get the lead, he needs a 4 or a 6. But if you roll a 2 or a 9 through 12, he's caught stealing automatically. So that's the danger in trying to, get the lead with Dave Cash. He's got a lot of outs on the right side of that slash. So I think Danny Murtaugh is going to say, you know what? Not Danny Murtaugh, Bill Verdon, rather. Murtaugh is long gone by now. This is Bill Verdon's team. So Bill Verdon says, no, we usually run, but we're not going to run right now. And that'll bring up Al Oliver. Lefty on lefty matchup. 4-6 against the left-hander is a walk. So another walk by Bryant. And that's going to put 2 on with 1 out for Wilbur Stargell. Pops Stargell. And Bryant needs to get control. 2-7 for Stargell, and that's trouble. That's a double to left field. Solid double to left field for Wilbur Stargell. That'll score Cash. Oliver, as a trail runner, was not being held, which makes him a 15. The double is to left field, left fielder arm for the Giants. Matthews is a -1, so that drops him back to a 14. 1-14, but with 1 out, they want runners at second and third with Richie Zisk coming up, so they will hold Oliver at third base. So second and third, 1 out. Infield is going to come in for the Giants rather. They want to choke off a cheap run. That's a 1. So Bryant, a wild pitch of a 1 to a 6, and he'll wild pitch in a run. He does not. It's blocked. Blocked by Doug Rader. So the infield is in for Richie Zisk. Pitch to Zisk at your own risk, as they say. 1-6 against a left-hander, and that's another double right here. Ron Bryant getting doubled up, and that's now a 3-0 Pirate lead here in the top of the first as they are getting to Ron Bryant. Richie Zisk, 2-run double. That'll bring up Sanguillen. 1 out. And Zisk not being held at second. 3-6 against the left-hander is a single 2 stars. That will score Zisk. It's now 4-0 Pirates rather. And the Giant bullpen going to be loosening early. They may go to one of their late starters for games 3 or 4. See who's got relief rating. Jim Barr's got some relief rating. So does Marichal. So Juan Marichal is loosening the bullpen for the Giants in case they need somebody early. He is scheduled to start game 4, but of course you would have rest in between. So Juan Marichal is loosening in the bullpen for the Giants in case Bryant goes through any further problems. Sanguillen not going to be held. Rennie Stennett playing second base in this one. Cash is actually playing third in this game with the lefty on the mound and Hebner on the bench. So Bryant's got to settle down. 2-6 for Stennett against the lefty. It's ground ball shortstop B. It's a fielder's choice. 6-4 fielder's choice for 2 away, and now Dow Maxfield, the shortstop, is up to the plate. So maybe Bryant can get out of this now, facing the meek hitting Dow Maxfield. Although he's got a good column 3. 5-5, and that's a strikeout. But 4 runs come in for the Pirates in the top of the first. 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of half an inning to play, it's the Pirates 4, the Giants coming to bat with some work to do. And boy, the happiest guy in the building is Nelson Briles. He's been given a 4-0 lead before he even takes the mound. And he'll be facing Bobby Bonds, Tito Fuentes, and Gary Maddox. But the Giants can hit, so the game is certainly not over. Briles, 6-7, ground ball, second base X, our first X chance. Second baseman Stennett is a 4E19. 4 and a 14, he'll get to that. E19, he's got to avoid. He's got to avoid 3, 6, 15, 17, and 18. 6, he did not avoid it. 6 is an error. E19, a 6 is a 1-base error. So Rennie Stennett boots it. And Bonds is aboard on the E4. E4 on Stennett. Bonds, an excellent base stealer. Pitcher-catcher interface on the Pirates is a -1 also. So Bonds gets the lead. It'll be a 1-14. They figure it's a good gamble. 1-14. But first, he's got to get the jump. 2 through 6 or an 11. He does not get the jump, so no need to worry about that at the moment. He will be held. Here's Tito Fuentes. 1-3 against the right-hander is a walk. So an error and a walk, and back come the Giants. This could be a slugfest. It'll bring up Gary Maddox. Briles trying to settle in. 1-4 for Maddox. That's not a good job of settling in. 1-5 is a home run. That's a 3. It is deep, and it is not coming back. Gary Maddox, a 3-run bomb. And just like that, it's a 4-3 game, and there's nobody out. So Giant fans at Candlestick, celebrating mood. They were barfing in the top of the first. They are celebrating here in the bottom of the first. They've cut the lead to 4-3, and there's nobody out. Briles has to settle in. 4-7 to lefty McCovey is a walk. So Briles still hasn't done anything to get anybody out. Pirates may have to have Steve Blass loosening the bullpen as their long relief man. Gary Matthews, the batter. 2-7 for Matthews is another walk. So, boy, Nelson Briles just choking the bit here. And that'll bring up Chris Spire. Briles, 2-10 to Spire. That's a fly ball to right field, B question mark. McCovey does not run well at all, though, so he will not try to move up. He will stay right where he is. And that'll bring up King Kong Kingman. Briles to Kingman. 2-4, and that is a ballpark blast. Ballpark blast, and what do you know it? That's the one thing I forgot to do was check the ballpark effects. So let me get the ballpark effects sheet out because this is really critical to make sure we get that in place. Thought I had done that already. I had just done the pitching thing, but I hadn't done the ballpark thing. So the 1973 ballpark effects, not weather effects, but just plain old ballpark effects. For San Francisco, home runs for left-handers are 1-18. Kingman's a right-hander, it's a 1-10. That's a 13, so it will not be a home run. 1-10 is the home run. That's a 13. So it will just be a deep fly to left field. Kingman just got under it. And that is out number 2. Deep fly ball to left, but McCovey again doesn't run well and has to hold at second base. Here now is Dave Rader. Briles trying to get out of the mess. 4-7, and that's another walk. His fourth walk of the inning, actually. by Briles. And now the bases are loaded for the pitcher. Ron Bryant using pitcher hitting card number 2. Giants could pinch hit here and go with Juan Marichal in relief. Boy, tough call there. They really would like some offense. Bryant, a number 2 hitter. They're going to pull Bryant. He's going to go 1 inning. That's it. Ron Bryant is done. 1 inning, and he gave up 3 hits and 4 runs. All earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. But Juan Marichal will take over in the top of the 2nd inning. And we will need a pinch hitter for the Giants. And we'll see who that pinch hitter is going to be. With Briles, the right-hander. Who's on the bench that's left-handed? They got Thomason. They got Phillips. They're going with Gary Thomason. Gary Thomason's going to pinch hit in a big spot. Try to give his team the lead. Here in the top of the 1st inning. Being aggressive in the 1st inning. How about that? All right, so Thomason. Briles trying to get out of it. Facing Thomason. 6-3 to a left-hander. That's a ballpark single check. And as we go to San Francisco, 1-5 is a single. That's a 14. So he's going to line it to second. And the inning is over. But 3 runs come in. 2 of them were earned on just the 1 hit. The home run was the only hit of the inning. They leave them loaded, unfortunately, if you're the Giants. But it's a 4-3 game after 1. Talk about chaos. This is mass chaos. So Juan Marichal will come on and pitch. In the 73 season, he was 11-15 in 32 starts, 3.82 ERA, but he does have a relief rating of 3. So he's going to come on for long relief, and he'll be facing Nelson Briles, the leadoff hitter, the pitcher. Pitcher hitting card number 3. 2-8, and that's a strikeout. So Marichal starts out with a strikeout. And here comes Gene Kleins. Now they're bringing a right-hander, and the Pirates have all these right-handers in the lineup. So we'll see if the Pirates start pinch hitting with some lefties down the road. We shall see. Right now, hello, Doug. How you doing? Here is Gene Kleins. 3-7 for Kleins. 1's a double. Anything else will be a single. So Gene Kleins gets himself a base hit. Now the pitcher hold for Marichal is a 0. Raiders a +2, so that means it's a +2 factor instead of a -1 factor. So that could affect guys trying to get the lead, because that's a +2, so that means a 1-15. So he's going to try for the lead. Will Gene Kleins. He needs a 2 through 8 or 12, but a 9 or an 11, he's automatically caught stealing. That's an 8. He gets the jump. So he gets the lead, which is a 15. -2 for being held is a 13, but the +2 from the pitcher-catcher hold is a 15 again. So it's a 1-15 for Gene Kleins. And he steals it. It's a possible throwing error on Raider. So a stolen base there. The T rating on Raider is a 6. 1-6 for a throwing error. Raider does not throw it away. It is snatched. It is snatched by the second baseman, Fuentes, to keep that from happening. But Kleins is in scoring position with 1 out. And he runs at 17. They will hold him at second base. Marichal to Cash. 1-4 for Cash. That's a ballpark single check. It's 1-5, though. And that's a 16. So it will be a pop-up to short for out number 2. So 2 down, and it brings up Al Oliver in a clutch situation. Kleins at first with 2 outs. 2-9, and that's a ground ball back to Marichal to end the inning. So Marichal comes through. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the second, still 4-3 Pirates. And now a close eye will have to be kept on Nelson Briles. He's back to the top of the order, Bobby Bonds. It all started with a Rennie Sennett error. That kind of set the ball in motion. Pirates going to see them be a little more fundamentally sound. Let's mark off Thomason. Forgot I used him. 6-9 against a right-hander is a fly to right field. Hauled in out there by the right fielder Zisk. One away. Here's Tito Fuentes. 2-7 for Fuentes. That's a solid single. So Fuentes is on. He will be held because he does have the asterisk. If we don't hold him, he gets to jump automatically. They will hold him on. 2 through 5 or a 12 will get him the lead. That's a 9. He cannot get the lead, so he will hold. And here's Gary Maddox. 6-2 against a right-hander. Maddox is a ballpark blast. That's a 14. But right-handers, ballpark blast right-handers in San Francisco, it only goes to a 10. So it's just going to be a deep fly to left field. Or out number 2. That'll bring up McCovey. 1 chance, but there's no wild pitch rating for Briles. So now we go to the at bat for McCovey. 5-10, left-handed. It's a ballpark single check, but again, it's 1-5, and that's a 14, so it's a fly to right. Ends the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. We played 2, and it's Pittsburgh 4, Giants 3. Marshall back out. Will be facing Pops Wilbur Stargell. And Pops doubled his first time up. Marshall 6-9 against a left-hander, struck him out. So Ron Bryan didn't have it, but maybe Marshall does. 3-8, and that's a strikeout. So 2 strikeouts back-to-back for Marshall to start the third. Here's Sanguillen. Oops, Suadice. 6-5, and that's a 1-4 home run. That's a 12, though. It'll be a double for Sanguillen. He is singled, and now he is doubled. He will not be held at second base, though. And here's Rennie Stenick. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a 4, so we're checking the pass ball rating of Rader. And his pass ball rating is a 0, so there's no chance of a pass ball. 6-8, and that's a fly to left. That's going to end the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 4-3. Maybe things are settling in now with the Marshall in the game, and Briles has seemed to settle in as well. So that'll bring up Gary Matthews, the Sarge, to lead things off against Nelson Briles. I feel like there's something. Let me check something here. I might have smudged my lens, maybe. It seemed like it was a little bit fuzzy there. Maybe it's better now. I don't know. Just seemed like something was off earlier, but we shall see. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully. All right. Here is Briles to Matthews. 1-7, struck him out. Matthews is out of there. Here's Chris Spire. 3-3, and that's a fly to left field. Hauled out there by Pops. There's 2 down for Kingman. Kingman just missed a ballpark blast last time. 2-5, and he's going to strike out. So 1-2-3 inning for Nelson Briles. He certainly has calmed down, and the game itself has calmed down. It's still 4-3. All that activity in the first inning, and now everything seems to be settling in. And this is Marshall's point of weakness inning number 3. So we'll see, make sure he doesn't run into any issues. Of course, he is scheduled to bat second next inning, so they could go to the bullpen if they need to. And go to a pinch hitter as well. 2-9 for Maxfield. That's a fly to left field. 1 away. And that brings up the pitcher. Nelson Briles, pitcher hitting card number 3. It's 2-7, struck him out. 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Gene Clines. 5-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're checking the second baseman, Tito Fuentes. He's a 2E6 for his X chance. 220, he'll get to that. E6, he needs to avoid on an E6, second baseman. 3, 16, and 18. And he does. So it's good play. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Marshall. He's thrown 3 shutout innings. So he's going to stay in the game. They're not going to pinch hit for him. They're going to keep him in there because he is pitching really well. And he's got several days to rest before his start in Game 4. So he's still in good shape. Bryles will be facing Raider. Marshall, who's usually pitcher in card number 3 as well, as does Bryles. So they both will share pitcher in card number 3. But first it's Raider. 5-4. That's a 1 double. Anything else is a single. So Dave Raider with a single. And that means Marshall's up there to bunt. So we're not worried about pitcher in card number 3. We're worried about bunting. And Marshall is an A bunter. But of course the corners are going to come in, make him a B bunter. So he's a B bunter, is Marshall. I have to put him here. He is a B bunter, so we'll get our bunt chart out as a B bunter. See who fields it. 1, it is fielded by the pitcher, so it's going to get bunted back to Bryles. He's a B bunter, so he's really got to avoid mainly 10 through 12. That's a 4, so that says speed. So 4 says speed, so if the batter has enough speed, he can beat this out. So he runs it a 1 through 10. That's a 4, so Marshall's going to beat it out. How about that? A bunt single for Marshall. Not sure how realistic that was with the corners in, but hey, that's what the chart says. So that's what we're going to play. All right, here's Bobby Bonds. Bonds. 3-9. That's a ground. It's a fly ball to right field B. That's 1 away. 1 down, and that's going to send up Tito Fuentes. Bryles to Fuentes. 6-8. Switch hitter batting left. It's ground ball shortstop B. It's a fielder's choice. Going to third is Raider. Marshall is out. 6-4. And reaching on the fielder's choice is Fuentes. So runners are on the corners. Fuentes will have to be held. Runners are on the corners for Gary Maddox. Tying runners in scoring position. Bryles, 3-8. Ground ball back to Bryles, and that's going to end the inning. So despite the 2 hits, they don't get any runs. They leave 2 on. At the end of 4, it's still 4-3. Favor of the Pirates. Marshall now in his 4th inning of work. And he'll be facing Dave Cash, third baseman. Oh, Suadice. Let's re-roll that. 6-12, right-handed. Ground ball pitcher X. He is a 2E28. Marshall, a 2E28. 2-9 is a pitcher. 2-9 is a G3, which is good enough. E28, he's got to avoid 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, and 18. And it's a 9, so he did not avoid. That's going to be an error on Marshall. Let's look at E28 for a pitcher. The 9 is the first number listed right here in a 1-base error, so Marshall boots it. He boots it. Cash is aboard. And Cash will not be held. And he won't try to go anywhere either. So here is Al Oliver. 4-3 against the left-hander. Fly ball right field X. Right fielder is Bonds. He's a 1E12. 1E12. 1 and a 3. Interesting. 1 and a 3 for an outfielder is an F2. And he is an E12, so he's got to avoid 4, 13, 14, 16, and 18. And that is a 13, so that's going to be just fine. I'm sorry, let's see, it's an E12. 13 is not going to be just fine. 13 is a 2-base error. A 12 right here, 13 is a 2-base error. That is a 13. It is a 2-base error on Bonds. So back-to-back errors by the Giants, and Marshall's not catching a break. These are not his fault. Well, the first one was because he's the one that committed the error, but still pretty bad. So with Stargell coming up, they're going to give him the free pass and set up a force play at any base. And they will play for. Actually, they're going to play in. They're going to play in, but they got to force at any base. So Marshall now to Zisk 3-6. It's a single 2 stars, and that's going to score 2 runs. Both of those are unearned, but the Pirates will take them. Stargell goes to third. It's now 6-3 Pirates, and now the Giant bullpen is loosening as they have Carithers, a right-hander, loosening in the pen. They only have righties. They don't have any lefty relievers. They also have Jim Willoughby in the pen. But Marshall's going to try to get out of this against Sanguillen. Infield again is in. 3-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop A, but there is a plus sign. The infield was in, and we hit the plus sign, so that means that's going to turn into a single 2 stars. That's where playing in can bite you, but they were trying to prevent the further runs. They would have had a double play playing back, but they were trying to choke off the run, and it cost them. And another run is in. It's now 3-0, or 3 runs in. It's now 7-3. Still nobody out. And Rennie Stennett, the batter. Marshall now trying to regroup. 2-8, and that is a strikeout. A much-needed strikeout for out number 1. Brings up Maxfield, the shortstop. So Marshall might get out of it because he's at the bottom of the order. Infield still in for the double play. Or in, rather, to prevent the run, I should say. 4-8, and that is a 1-14 single. That's a 3. It'll be a base hit. Another run is in. Sanguillen stops at second. And I believe that might be almost all for Marshall. The pitcher is coming up, so I think they're going to go ahead and let him pitch to Briles, but he's on shaky ground. As between the errors and the walk and the hits, he's tired. So 5-9 is a ground ball third base B. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. They're going to retire Maxfield at second base. Going to third is Sanguillen. And now the 9th man to bat in the inning, Gene Clines is up. And what do you do if you are the Giants? They're going to have to pull Marshall because if he hits a fatigue roll, it'll give up a run automatically. So they're going to have to pull Marshall. And they will go to right-hander Jim Willoughby. So Willoughby is coming on. Try to stop the bleeding. Although I believe it may be beyond repair, but you never know. So Gene Clines is your batter. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. (1-7) for Clines. That's a single to left field. That run is charged to Marshall. It's unearned, of course. Briles will stop at second. Now they batted around. Giants now have put up 5 on the board. Take a 9-3 lead. Runners still at first and second. And they're back to Dave Cash. 5-8, and that's a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman again is Fuentes. He's a 2. 2-11. He'll get to it. He's an E6. E6 and a 10 is a good play. And with a 2 and an 11, it's technically going to be a G1, so those get the force play on the lead runner. So that's going to go 4-6, fielder's choice. But 5 runs in the 5th inning for the Pirates. They take a 9-3 lead. And Nelson Briles has all sorts of runs to work with now. And he'll be facing McCovey, Matthews, and Spire. Briles, 5-3 to McCovey. That's a ballpark blast, and that's a 3. It is gone. A home run for left-handers. Home runs for left-handers are 1-18. That's a 3. It's long, and it is gone for Willie McCovey. It is now a 9-4 ball game as McCovey blasts one. Unfortunately for the Giants, nobody was on base. Here's Matthews. 6-3, ground ball to second. Nice play there by Stennett. 1 away. Chris Spire, the batter. 3-5 for Spire is a walk. That's what the Giants need, are base runners. He will not be held. Here's Kingman. 1 blast by Kingman, and they're right back in the game. 6-5, that's a ground ball, shortstop X. Shortstop is Maxfield. He's a 2E24. 2 and a 10 for a shortstop. A 2 and a 10 is a G1. Could be a double play. E24, he's got to avoid 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. That is a 16. E24 and a 16. There is no 16. There's a 15, 17, and 18, but no 16. So it will be a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. A run on a hit, nobody left. And the previous inning, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and they left 2 on. All right. So at the end of 5, it is a 9-4 game. Pirates lead it. Willoughby back out. He is set to bat second next inning, so they like to have him pitch the 6th, and then pinch hit for him. Al Oliver, your leadoff man. As I drop the D20. Tabby is not up here with me tonight, so that's kind of throwing me off just a tad. But we sally forth on. Willoughby, 3-5 to Oliver. 1-6 is a triple. That's a 20. It will be a double for Al Oliver. Double for Oliver. Hit parade continues. Here's Wilbur Stargell. I'm sorry, that was Cash. That should have been Cash, shouldn't it? That should have been Cash, not Oliver. My bad. Let me reboot that inning. Let me reboot that inning. Should have been Cash. My bad. Should have been Cash. We'll redo the inning. 1-3. It's a walk, so won't be a double for Cash. It'll be a walk for Cash. Now Oliver is up. 5-10, and that's a ground ball, shortstop X, possible double play. Shortstop is Spire. He's a 2E36. 2 and a 12. 2 and a 12 may very well be a double play chance. 2 and a 12 is a G1. So it's possible double play. His air rating, though, is a 36. He's got to avoid 13 through 17 without the 14. 13, 15, 16, and 17. And he avoids all that, so it will be a 6-4-3 double play. So that helps eliminate a lot of issues. And here comes Wilbur Stargell. 4-9, struck him out. That's going to do it for Willoughby. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and we will get a pinch hitter for Willoughby now. It'll be Rader and then a pinch hitter, and it looks like Phillips, a left-handed hitter, might be called on. Mike Phillips, well-traveled Mike Phillips. Well-traveled Mike Phillips will pinch hit. So it's Rader, Phillips, and Bonds here in the bottom of the 6th. I think what I did, Ben, I think I actually, it should have been Klein's batting, not Cash. I think Klein's card stuck to the pitcher hitting card. We're just going to let it ride now. We can't do anything about it. Game's probably over anyway. It's 9-4. I don't think it really affected anything. So we're just going to have to play it out. 3-2, and that's a Lomax. Liner to second, one away. And that'll bring up Phillips as a pinch hitter. Phillips will pinch hit. 6-7 left-handed ground ball second base X. That is Stennett. He's a 4, E19. 4 and a 6. 4 and a 6 is going to be a single, SI1. Make sure there's no error. He is an E19. E19 and a 13. There is no 13, but it is going to be a base hit for Phillips. Pinch hit single for Mike Phillips as he snuck it past Stennett for the base hit. Now here comes the top of the order and Bobby Bonds. Pirate bullpen starting to stir a bit just in case Bryles starts to lose it. 3-4, and that's a single. It's a clutch symbol, but not in a clutch situation, so it will be a single 2 stars. Phillips will take third. Bonds is at first. Runners on the corners. Runners on the corners and only one out. Here's Fuentes. Infield back for the double play are the Pirates. Five, 7, switch hitter batting left. That's a fly ball center field B, and that's going to be a sacrifice fly by Fuentes. That will score Phillips, make it a 9-5 game, Dolly Parton style, 9-5. 9-5 Dolly Parton. And that'll bring up Gary Maddox now at first base with 2 outs. They're going to see if Bonds can get the lead. He needs a 2 through 6 or an 11 to get the lead. He does with a 6, but it's a 1. He could be picked off. So his secondary number is a 14. We could roll and see if he can get back. It's a 1. Let me double check it, but I'm pretty sure he's got picked off. Let's double check this. I haven't had this come up in a while, so I need to double check it. Roll 29-2 on page 13. When rolling for a lead, if the D20 is a 1, running tempted lead may be picked off or further the secondary runner in parentheses and roll the 20-sided die again. If the number rolled is less than or equal to the runner's run rating, the runner dies back safely, but the runner has failed to take the lead. Okay, so he's not out. He got back safely. If the roll had been higher than 14, he would have been picked off. So he gets back safely, but he cannot get the lead. So clarify that. He is not picked off, but he cannot get the lead. So he stays at first for Gary Maddox. 1-9 for Maddox. That's a pop out to short, and that's going to end the inning. But a run does come in. It's 9-5 ball game. Dolly Parton style. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the 7th, and we need a new pitcher for the Giants as a pinch hit for Willoughby. And let's see who they're going to go to. They're going to Don Carithers, a right-hander. Don Carithers. So Carithers will be coming on. And that's going to be it for Nelson Briles. His day is going to be done. So Nelson Briles is finished. He goes 6 innings, gives up 5 runs. And we'll figure out who is going to be the new pitcher in the bottom of the 7th. That's what the 7th inning stretch is for. All right, so Carithers now be facing Zisk, Sanguian, and Stennett. Pitcher spot comes up 5th in the inning. 1-7 for Zisk, and that's going to be a double, 1-17. Leadoff double for Zisk. He is now 3 for 4, 2 doubles and a single. And the hit parade continues for the Pirates. Here's Manny Sanguian. 3-11, and that's going to be a pop out to short. 1 away. And Rennie Stennett, the batter. Carithers to Stennett. 4-2 against the right-hander is a ground ball first base X. That's McCovey. He's a 4-E19. Zisk was not being held, so he keeps the 4-E19. But a 4 is trouble. 4 and a 9. May not get to this. 4 and a 9. No, it's a G3 pound, but he wasn't holding the runner, so it's going to be a good play. Checking for an error. He is an E19. He's got to avoid 10, 11, 15, 16, 17, and 18. That is a 13. And he does. So he did avoid the 13. It will be a 3-1 put out since it's on the X chart. And going to third is Richie Zisk. So tough hop handled by McCovey is able to flip to Carithers. And there's 2 away for Dow Maxville. Carithers to Maxville. 5-4. And that's a ballpark single check. That's a 7. But it's only a 1-5, so it's going to be a line out to the shortstop to end the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It is still 9-5. Now, Pirates will be looking to do a double switch because the pitcher spot would bat first. Coming in relief will be Steve Blass. Steve Blass. He's going to come in relief, and he will bat in the number 7 position, formerly held by Stennett. Cash will move to second, and Richie Hebner will take over at third base and bat 9th. So Blass is your pitcher. He is a 1-E0. He's got a 4 for relief rating. So Hebner will lead off the top of the 8th. But we're in the bottom of the 7th of a 9-5 game. And Hebner is now the new third baseman. So let's get Hebner's card in here. And coming out of the game is Rennie Stennett. Dave Cash will move from third to second. All right. Steve Blass facing Gary Maddox, bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th. Blass, 5-5. It's a ground ball to short. Takes care of. Wait a minute, that was not Maddox. Should have been McCovey, not Maddox. Maddox made the last out. So McCovey is the one that should have been batting. 5-5 is still a fly to left field. So 1 away. Tit for tat, it's an out either way you go. Here's Gary Matthews. 3-7 for Matthews. That's a single. So Matthews is aboard. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere, down 9-5. Blass now, 1. That's a wild pitch rating of 19. So that will be a wild pitch on Blass. And Chris Spire at the plate. 5-8, and that's a ground ball. Second base X, and that's the new second baseman Cash. Write his ratings in. He's a 321 at second base. So a 3 E21 at second base. 3 and a 4 is going to be an SI1. It's going to be a base hit, with Matthews going to third. Check for an error. He is an E21. At second base, E21, you got to avoid 4, 13, and 17. He did, but it's a single for Spire. He's going to put runners at the corners for Dave Kingman. Infield is back for the double play. Blast to Kingman. 6-11. That's a ground ball. Pitcher X. You know he's going to get to it. He's a 1E0. We're just checking the 1 to see if it's a double play or not. See if it's a G1 or not. To be a G1, he's a 10 or higher. Gets a 9, which makes it a G2. So in a G2, it's going to be a 1 to 4 force play with the run scoring from third. It's now a 9 to 6 game. 2 down for Dave Rader. Kingman at first, not being held. 2-10 for Rader. Fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. But they get a run. They do it on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. So at the end of 7, it's a 9 to 6 game. Pirates can't put the Giants away just yet. Carruthers is going to come out for a second inning of work. He is set to lead off next inning, so they want to get him through the inning if possible. And the new third baseman, Richie Hebner, will get his first time at the plate. See what he can do, the grave digger. Richie Hebner. 5-6 against the left-hander is a walk. I'm sorry, 5-6 is a fly to right. I was reading 6-6. 5-6 is a fly to right field, 1 away. And, of course, the Giants don't want to be lefty relievers. So when they get a lefty in there, they lose some of that advantage. 1-12 is a fly to right field for Kleins. That's 2 away. And that'll bring up Cash. 4-8, that's a 1-9 double. That is a 9, so it's a double for Dave Cash. 2-out double for Cash, and that'll bring up Al Oliver. Tough hitter in a clutch situation. Carruthers to Oliver. 3-5, and that's a 1-6 triple. That's a 19, though. It'll be another double. Back-to-back doubles. That will score the run and make it a 10-6 game. 10-6 the score. Wilbur Stargell, they will intentionally walk him and take their chances with Zisk, although Zisk is 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. But it is a righty-on-righty matchup, so they're playing the percentages. 6-7, and that's a single to right field. Single to right field. The right fielder, Bonds, is a -4 arm, so that could help prevent the run. We shall see. Oliver was at second base. 14 being held makes him a 13. 2 outs makes him a 15. But then the -4 makes him an 11. So it'll be a 1-11, but they're going to send him anyway. They're going to test Bobby Bonds' arm. 1-11. And he's in there. So Bonds scores, Oliver scores, rather, on the throw from Bonds. Stargell will take third on that throw. And Zisk will take second on that throw. So 2 runs are in. It's 11-6. Now Carruthers has to really bear down and get Sanguillen. Pitcher spot Blast is next, but if they walk Sanguillen, they'll just pinch hit for Blast. So they're going to pitch to Sanguillen. 3-10, and it's a ground ball to third to end the inning. But 2 runs come in. They do it on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is now 11-6 in favor of the Buccos. Blast back out. Faces the pinch hitter for Carruthers. And that pinch hitter will be a left-handed hitting Ed Goodson. So Ed Goodson, who on the 73 season hit .302. So he's the best pitcher they have. They saved him for the later innings. Ed Goodson. Try to get something started for the Giants. Trailing 11-6. Blast 6-8 to a left-hander is a walk. So Blast running into control issues. Goodson will walk, and that brings up the top of the order and Bobby Bonds. Blast 3-7 to Bonds, and that's another walk. So now the Pirate bullpen is starting to stir a bit as Blast is losing a little bit of control. Tito Fuentes is your batter. That's a 1 with another wild pitch chance. And it will be another wild pitch. So Blast having all kinds of issues. Facing Fuentes now at second and third. Nobody out. Infield back. The 5-run lead. They're playing the infield back. Blast 2-6 to Fuentes. Doesn't matter. It's a single 2 stars. And that's going to be it for Steve Blast. His day is done. Or evening is done, depending on when you're watching this. That's a 2-run single. It's now 11-8. And the tying run is on deck. So with Gary Maddox coming up, the Pirates will be going to their bullpen. Pirates will be going to their bullpen. And they're going to go to a right-hander out of the pen. And let's see who they might want to go to. They might just go to Dave Justy and not screw around. But there will be a double switch again because Blast is the pitcher spot is next. So they want Justy to pitch the next 2 innings. So they're going to have to make another double switch. And it looks like it's going to be in the outfield this time, I believe. Let me double check and see who we got available coming up there. On the bench, they have, let's see here. We could see a Dave Parker sighting. We might very well see a Dave Parker sighting. We will see a Dave Parker sighting. So Richie Zisk will be pulled. They will move Justy into the number 5 position. And in the number 7 position will now be Parker. So this will be Parker in right field. He's a 3, E0, and arm rating of 0 and an E17. So Parker is your new right fielder. Zisk is out of the game. And so is Mr. Blast. So it'll be Parker, Maxville, and Hebner in the top of the 9th for the Pirates. But Dave Justy is going to come on and try to get a 6-out save, which of course in 1973 was nothing unusual. He'll be facing Gary Maddox with Fuentes at first. Nobody out. Justy 3-8, and that's a ground ball pitcher B. 1-4 fielder's choice. New runner is Maddox. He will be held, but won't go anywhere. Not with McCovey coming up. 5-6 to a left-hander is a ground ball second base B. Another fielder's choice, 4-6. McCovey the new runner at first, and Gary Matthews the batter. Justy to Matthews. 1-6 struck him out. So Justy comes in and does the job. 2 runs for the Giants. They get it on just the 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 9th. Score is 11-8 in favor of the Buccos. And the Giants will need a new pitcher. And it'll be Parker, Maxville, and Hebner. So with 2 lefties, they don't have any lefties in the bullpen, however. The Giants were hamstringed by that, not having any lefties. So they'll have to go to whoever they can find that they can get through the 9th inning. And it looks like they're going to go to, who might they want to use here? They're going to Elias Sosa, right-hander. Elias Sosa will be coming on. And he'll be facing Parker, Maxville, and Hebner here in the 9th inning of an 11-8 game. 4-5 against a left-hander is a fly to left field. Parker is retired. Here's Dal Maxville. So that's a 6-5 against a right-hander. That's a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Spire. He's a 2E36. 2. And a 19 is a good play. E36. And that's an 11. E36 and an 11 should be okay, I would think, for a shortstop. E36. There is no 11. It's a good play. 2 down for Richie Hebner. Hebner flew to right his only time up. 5-12. Ground ball pitcher X. He's a 3. E0. So you know he's not going to make an error. He just has to get to it. 3-16 he does, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Elias Sosa. So last chance for the Giants. They trail it by the score of 11-8. And Dave Justy is your batter, or your pitcher rather. It'll be Spire, Kingman, and Rader, the scheduled hitters. On the bench, the only switch hitter they have, or lefty they have, is Ontiveros. They do have a couple of right-handers in Arnold and SADV, but I don't think they're much to work with. Let's see what Ontiveros did. 242, so not very good there. SADV 167, Arnold 296, decent. So Arnold's a possibility. If they get to the pitcher spot, they would use Chris Arnold. If they get down to the pitcher spot. Chris Arnold is limbering in the dugout, possibly coming into pinch hit. But first of all, it's Chris Spire against Dave Justy. 3-5, and that's a walk. Leadoff walk to Spire. And that brings up Kingman. One swing of the bat, and Kingman can make this a very interesting game. 2-6, but he can also strike out, which he just did right there. 1 away. Here's Rader, and on deck will be Chris Arnold. Chris Arnold did hit 296 on the season, so he is their best pinch hitter remaining, Chris Arnold. But right now it's Dave Rader. 2, so it's chance of a balk or a pass ball. Chance for a pass ball on Sanguian, and his pass ball rating is a 1. So a 1 is the only way we get a pass ball. And there is no pass ball. So Justy to Rader. 210 for Rader is a fly ball to left. That's 2 away, and now Chris Arnold will pick up a bat and hit for the pitcher Sosa. So Arnold, last chance. With Spire at first, his run is meaningless in a 3-run game, so he will not be held. Justy to Arnold. 5-4. 5-4 is a ground ball third base X. That is Mr. Hebner. Didn't write in his defensive numbers like I was supposed to, but I didn't. He's a 4E28. So Hebner is a 4. And that's a 7. Possible base hit. 4 and a 7 is a G3. So G3 pound, but he wasn't responsible for holding anybody. E28 is 11, 13, 14, and 15. Anything other than those 4 numbers, and the game's over. That's a 6. That's going to be a good play for Hebner. And there's your ball game. Pirates win it in a wild one, 11-8. 11-8 your final. Very sloppy game quite frankly. 2 errors here on the Giants in the same inning that led to the 5-run explosion. So two errors on the Giants on the ball game. Pirates committed just the 1 error to start the game on Stennett. No other errors. They did not commit any other errors. Let's do the hits. 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 13 hits for the Pirates. 11 runs, 13 hits. 1 error. They left on 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8 left on base. For the Giants, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. So 10 hits. And left on base, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They left 10 on base. So there's your final line score. For the Pirates, 11 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, 8 left on base. For the Giants, 8 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, and 10 left on base. Losing pitcher was Ron Bryant. Winning pitcher was Nelson Briles. The save to Dave Justy. Pirates take a 1-0 lead in the series. Game 2 will also be at Candlestick Park. It'll be Bob Moose for the Pirates, and he'll be taking on Jim Barr of the Giants. So that's what we've got going on in that one. But the next game on the channel will be the Angels and the A's from 1987. I'm going to intermix those. So I've played all the games from April the 10th, except for the Angels and the A's. So we'll have that game. Dave Stewart will be on the mound for the A's, and I'll have the out-of-town scoreboard all ready to go for the other games to get you lined up for that 1987 style. And then probably on Saturday, we'll be back to Game 2 of the American League Championship Series between the Oakland A's and the Baltimore Orioles. It should be Dave McNally taking on Catfish Hunter, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's the matchup. But from here, it is the Pirates winning it 11-8. Player of the game, I'm giving it to Richie Zisk. He had 4 hits. He was 4 for 5, 2 doubles, 2 RBI, and a run scored. Actually had a couple of RBI, 4 RBI, and a run scored. So, to me, he's the player of the game. Richie Zisk is your player of the game. So, thank you all for spending part of your Wednesday evening with me on this one. A little bit sloppy, of course. Had a couple snafus with the batting order, but got that straight, hopefully. Pitching matchup was just really bad. Ron Bryant, 20-something game winner for the Giants, but he just didn't have it. He gave up the 4 runs in the top of the first, and they had had enough. Marshall, credit to him, he went 3 innings and change, and then kind of lost it there in the 5th. But he will come back and start Game 4 if there is a Game 4 in Pittsburgh. Marshall would be the starter for that. But coming up in Game 2, again, it'll be Jim Barr for the Giants against Bob Moose for the Pirates. So Pirates win it. They take a 1-0 lead, and they also kind of really steal one now because their whole goal was to split in San Francisco and then try to win 2 out of 3 in Pittsburgh. So they've got that first goal out of the way, so now they're playing with house money in Game 2, and the Giants are kind of in a desperation mode. Hello, Mike C. Didn't see you down there. Doug Hunt, nice to see you. Chuck, nice to see you, of course. Ben and RJL and Brian B. And anybody else I might have missed along the way. Let's see who else was in here. Dav, good to see you. I think that was it. If I missed you, I apologize, but I think that it covers it there. So, all right. So no Tabby, but maybe next time. Maybe next game we'll see Tabby. But again, next game on the channel, it will probably be tomorrow. Don't know if it'll be recorded or live. That's the only thing I'm not 100% sure on. So don't know for 100% how I'm going to play that. We'll figure it out as we go along. But it will be the A's and the Angels from Oakland. It'll be the A's and the Angels from Oakland. Dave Stewart on the mound for the A's, and on the mound for the Angels, if I remember correctly, it is Kirk McCaskill, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be Kirk McCaskill against Dave Stewart from Oakland, who, of course, now are no longer the Oakland A's. They're going to be the Sacramento A's and then the Las Vegas A's. But in '87, they were going strong as Oakland. So that's what we're going with. So that's going to do it from here. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all are enjoying the playoffs. I'm trying to watch a little bit of the playoffs. I do like the fact that you got teams like Detroit and Kansas City that aren't your usual suspects. They're in the playoffs, so good to, in my mind, it's good to see that. Get some new, fresh blood in there instead of the same teams all the time. Of course, it doesn't hurt my feeling the Astros got eliminated. That's always a good thing in my opinion. No trash cans to worry about. So everyone have a great evening, and until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.